Collective, tap in. Hey, welcome. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is such a beautiful season. This is our breakthrough season. Welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. This light is so, y'all know I battle with this light like every single time. My goodness. Whew. Okay. That is a lot better. My goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. I can't stand the bright light in my face. All right. If you are new here, hey, if you notice that the chat is subscriber only collective, and the reason why I did that today is because my moderators have been working like overtime, okay? And they want to ensure, and I want to ensure that they have a break and just be able to enjoy the message without having to over police the chat from the trolls and from, everybody else has got that they got going on, okay? So if you are interested in joining the chat, then please hit the subscribe button, okay? And support our community. Now, in this breakthrough season, I'm really feeling like, hey, Starboy, I'm really feeling like there is a lot of energy that is shifting for the collective. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper, especially in this breakthrough series. We know that Q4, I'm looking at the 10 of Cups. Oh, I love this with the 3 of Swords collective. So during our breakthrough season, it feels like collective that there's a reflection period happening right now. Oh, tap in. There is a reflection period that is happening right now. And quite frankly, collective, I love this for you. You want to know why? Because reflection, even if it's in a season or from a season that you experience pain, reflection is a tool that you can use to elevate yourself. Reflection is a tool that you can use to heal yourself as well. And I know that when the collective reflects, oftentimes y'all immediately go back to what like the negative part of your reflection journey is, right? And I'm telling you, collective, if you do go back to those painful parts, as I'm looking at the 10 of Cups and the 3 of Swords, I want you to prepare yourself to receive the messages that come to you. Tap in. I want you to be prepared to receive the journey of going back even that far, collective, or that moment. I want you to be able to receive the journey that is placed upon you. Yes, we all have to learn from them, Travis, absolutely. But the lesson that is learned, sometimes when you go back and you reflect on this part of your life. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I just want to make sure that wasn't my husband. When you go back and reflect on this part of your life and this journey. Hi, Dr. Jonathan. Hey. I want you to remember that the pain that you are feeling is real and is not a situation or is not an environment in which you are in danger, although your body might feel like you are in danger, or you might be revisiting those times where it hurts. And the reason why I keep bringing up these moments of hurt and reflection and release is because when you are breaking through, we often hold on to those moments. We often hold on to the parts that hurt, because to be real with you, collective, let me just, can we tap in with each other? Can we have this conversation? Can I type one in the chat if it's okay if I keep it real with you, collective? Because a lot of the times we allow our hurt and our trauma to become a part of our identity. It actually becomes the identity. And it's hard to imagine yourself living in a world where you don't have to rely on the part of your story that is traumatic in order to identify or to place a narrative on your life. So if you go through something that is hard, if you go through something that is difficult and you explain your story or you're looking back at your story, I want that to be a part of your narrative and not who you are, not this is who I am. Okay. And I feel like, collective, that is oftentimes a part of the journey that we do not pay attention to, or that we don't give a lot of credence to, that we become our trauma and our trauma becomes our identity. So I feel like in this reflective period, while you are learning from the mistakes or the events that happen to you, the other part of that collective is identifying the very nuanced moment where at one point you became your trauma and that was your identity, to where you are now, where's a part of your story. Ooh, thank you, God, for allowing that conversation to come through. I'm looking at this wow, these cards are asked. This is the first time I'm using these cards. They're beautiful, collective. Tap in. This Three of Swords is, look, it has like this, he's like holding his back, while also taking like the pain in the front. And I feel like just even looking at this, I know we all know what it's like to stand like this with our oh my gosh, my back, while also having to face forward and take the heaviness that sits on the part of us that causes the pain. It's almost like you're dealing with the physical pain of life while also dealing with the heartache of life. But one of those things can be corrected, collected. Actually, both of those things can be corrected with time. Oh, wait, this message of time was shifting. Oh my gosh, collective. Woo! Oh my goodness. It's almost like the time, the shift, the story, the narrative, your purpose, like it is all being transmuted, because this is what you can do about a hurt. But girl, you can stretch, you can work out, you can strengthen your core, you can move like in real time. You can actively do these things. And I feel like with the heart takes a different type of time to heal, but also it's connected to the thoughts, your mindset. Just because we're talking about the swords here, right? So we're talking about the power of the tongue, we're talking about the power of the mind, your actions, right? So I feel like all of this is action driven. Oh, with the cup. Oh my gosh, collective. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to slam the cards. What is shifting for you? My goodness, it is your actions. As you reflect back, the story of your actions is what's going to assist in this healing journey. So yet keep it moving. There is a silver lining, but also collected. Oh my gosh. Being able to see this journey in a way that honors your pain. Ooh, that's the other part of it. Honoring your pain, honoring your story, honoring the message that comes with your story without becoming the characteristics of the hurt that you have experienced. Ooh, that's a real reflection, collective. That is something, collective. I'm trying to tell you, that is truly on next level. Because when we reflect on a time that is painful, it is so easy to go into the woe is me, this hurts, I can't get out of that pain. And if that's a part of your journey, I'm not telling you don't experience that, because if you are a part of that journey where you're like, woe is me, this hurts so bad, I'm not even telling you to move out of that. What I am telling you, if you are in that part of a painful journey and that healing, is to not only honor that, but know that it's not always going to be that way. Even though in that moment, it feels like it's going to always be that way. Tap in, collective. It is not. It is not. And that is also a part of this 10 of Cups, 3 of Swords that I'm looking at. I actually want to clarify a little bit with this 10 of Cups, 3 of Swords, and see what are connecting factors within this message, collective. Because that 10 of Cups, it really talks about a time of being fulfilled, of being loved. Yup, look, the world. My goodness, I love that. Wow. The gifts that have been given to you, collective. This is a part of the shift. Recognizing the gifts, recognizing the moment. Look, in the 9 of Cups with the 10 of Cups. Yeah, you know what, collective? Whoa. You know how I'm feeling about this world and the 9 of Cups. First of all, these cards are absolutely gorgeous. My goodness. I'm feeling like, collective, not only have you taken this story and allowed it to be yours in this shift, but you're also sitting in your truth. I've been bringing up your truth in this conversation during our breakthrough season a lot, and it's been coming up in our shifting messages a lot. Hi, Mona. And I feel like, collective, with this 9 of Cups, you're sitting in this arc of your story that you used to be ashamed of. You're sitting in an arc of your story where you used to not talk about at all. You didn't even acknowledge that it was a part of your story. And now you're like, you know what? It had to be that story. It had to be this part of my journey that pushed me through, that's giving me the breakthrough I need, that prepared me for this breakthrough. Listen, collective, I say this a lot because I acknowledge it, that the collective has gone through massive loss and grief. A lot of it, by the way, tap in. The collective has gone through trauma that has broken them down to a molecular level. Tap in. The collective is still dealing with the fallout, not of things that happened yesteryear, but I'm talking about things that happened yesterdecades, okay? And again, as we go through this healing journey and I keep educating myself and I keep reading through my books, I recognize and I honor that people's decades-long journey, 555, is one of immense realizations, immense setbacks, immense rewinds and returns, to the point, and now when it's time for you to inherit this breakthrough season, you're not only reflecting on those times, but you are now owning that this is a part of your story. Oh, I love that, collective. I honor you. And I love you for this. It's not easy. It's not easy. And what this is inviting me to tell you, collective, is that, and I feel like I mentioned this yesterday, but there's an opportunity to document this part of your journey. I feel like, collective, a lot of you have been wanting to start some type of correspondence to tell your story, to reach others. I need to be clear, collective. We are in unprecedented times. Tap in. And by unprecedented, the reason, not that this world has never been, y'all, this eyelash is really like in my way. Not that we have never dealt with being on the brink of spiritual warfare, being on the brink of war, being on the brink of spiritual destitution, of seeing people literally walking around as zombies, seeing people purposefully causing confusion and hurt and pain. Not that we've never seen that before, collective, but because we have. But at this point in the world, collective, we're actually seeing the connection of the collective in a way that the world doesn't even know how to respond to. Tap in. And there is one accord that is happening. So when I'm saying like we are on unprecedented times, we're seeing unprecedented matters be brought before us in a way that has never been seen by the globe before. I feel like, collective, now more than ever, if you are thinking about telling your story, this is the best time to do it. People need someone to connect to. Hi. People need someone that they can look at and say, whoa, I've been through this before. I know what this feels like. I know what this is. People want to know that they are not alone. And collective, you reflecting the fact I'm seeing the world like this, you reflecting on your journey and using your voice, using your talents, using your skill to put out there on some level, whether you're having a conversation in this chat, whether you are starting a podcast, writing a book, you got a microphone and you just on the street giving a word, whether you at a beach or a coffee shop and you just saying hello to people and smiling because you got that frequency. It ain't got to be, spreading the gospel all day, every day, but you can say hi to somebody, you can smile to somebody, say, I hope you have a nice day. Just even that interaction, collective, is reaching a part of the masses that needs to hear that from someone who knows exactly what it's like to feel lost, to hurt, to be used, to not know where to go next. In a way, collective, this is you owning your story, you sitting in your truth, you not allowing your trauma to be your sole identity, to be your identity. It has now become a part of your ethos, collective. That's actually a part of your inheritance. That's actually a part of your birthright inheritance. Y'all, me and this eyelash are going to box it out. I need you to sit with that, collective. Hey, Joe. Sit with that. Sit with how powerful you are. No, seriously. Let's take a deep breath together. Let's breathe out. I said sit with how powerful you are. I don't know if you realize, and if you do, yes, I want you to type 1 in the chat. If you don't, I need you to sit in this. I don't think you realize, collective, just how unique you are. And not as unique like you dress different and you speak different and you stand out amongst the crowd. I'm talking about just in terms of you recognizing that this part of your journey proves that you are not only covered by the grace of God, but you are walking in your power and your purpose. Tap in. That's real, collective. I know that y'all walk outside every day and y'all see people who are straight, just in a bubble, in a box, zombified. I know y'all see people every day that wish they can walk the way that you walk, talk the way that you talk. They ain't even got to say it with their mouth. They just say it with their vibes. Like, collective, I need you to really tap in to the fact that even your realization is a superpower. Even knowing that your walk and your path is a superpower. That you learning to protect the heart on your sleeve without being selfish to the world when it calls your story forward. That is a superpower, collective. And I am inviting you to sit in it. No matter what part of your journey you're in, whether you are just starting to heal, whether you just come to realize that you need to heal. Type 1 in the chat, raise your hand. If you remember the moment where you decided, like, now is the time, I'm not going to be like I was yesterday. I remember my journey. I remember when I said, no, I'm not going to be tied up. I'm not going to be a prisoner to my own unhealed story. No, tap in. Collective. The shift is you recognizing that you are in a state of empowerment that the world needs. That's the shift, collective. That's an inheritance. No longer feeling shame is all about owning your lives. But the other part of that is, collective, if you do feel shame, that's still a part of your journey. I'm not going to tell you, oh, don't feel shame all the time. If you feel ashamed, if you feel ashamed as you are in a part of your healing story, that's still a part of your healing story. That's something that you work with. That's something that you work on. That is your story. My goal for you here is to feel less shameful than when you walked in. Because removing the shame, I'm going to tell you, don't be ashamed of shit that you done been through. Tap in. But also, I can tell you that in you removing that feeling, those are two different situations there. My goal for you is to feel just less than what you came in here with. And in order to do that, I must remind you, collective, that all of the emotions, all of the feelings, all of the stages of grief is a part of your story, even the shameful parts. Even the shameful parts. That don't make you less of a person. That doesn't make you less qualified to tell your story. That doesn't make you less able to heal others. You're just in a part of your story that requires more of you. And if a part of your story requiring more of you is to honor your pain, to sit in this part of your journey, to recognize that you got a ways to go, then that's a part of your story, baby. That's a part of your story. Turn those lessons into blessings, but also being able to study in those lessons. Being able to study in those lessons and this awareness that I want to bring to your feet, that I'm offering you, this awareness that I am offering you, collective, that I place at your feet, is for you to recognize that no matter where you are in your journey, that it doesn't deteriorate your relationship with God. It doesn't deteriorate who you are. It doesn't deteriorate your worth. It doesn't deteriorate you at all. It serves as a foundation for a comeback that the world has A, never seen, and B, they not ready for, and C, that they desperately need. Tap in. Look, I'm tapping. Look, I'm so tapped in, y'all. Look, I'm tapping onto my teacup. Both are valid. I have not been shy about my journey back to God. I have not been shy. As a matter of fact, I have been inviting you guys into my lessons, because once I realized that I was participating in activities that were already established by Jesus Christ, tapping in. I didn't say by the Bible. I didn't say that. I said established by Jesus Christ, which is, I was Buddhist for a long time. I really love prayer. I love prayer. I love the meditation of it all. I love the power of prayer. I love the power of the tongue. And the story of Jesus Christ really solidified why I was drawn to that. Tap in. And I appreciate you, Travis. Thank you, Travis. Travis said tea time. Yes, Travis, listen. Okay. I am, y'all. Let me see on topic. Let me see on topic. Me and Travis have a whole conversation here. 2012 is what I see on my screen. I share my story with y'all, not as somebody who is an expert, not as somebody who knows everything about the Bible, not as somebody who knew everything when I was a Buddhist for 10 years. Not as that. I share my story because I know that someone somewhere can take the lessons that I've learned for me and apply it to their journey. And I know that someone somewhere can recognize where I am in my journey and lay some gems and jewels on me. Tap in. This is a joint effort, collective. Ooh-wee. Looking at the Empress come through, talking about a big shift. Ooh, what y'all got going on, collective? Big shift, Knight of Cups. Yeah, this is the emotional shift you needed. You done cross into a portal, into multiple portals. Wow, looking at this Knight of Cups with the Empress. Number 3 is really important. Number 23 is really important for you, collective. So you might see on these days, or you might see synchronicities that confirm what you're thinking at the moment. And I know, collective, a lot of y'all like, well, girl, how could you believe in numerology? No, I believe in synchronicities, and seeing double of the same can often confirm what you got going on, or confirm what you don't need to have going on, collective, okay? So even seeing the Knight of Cups and the Empress, yeah, there is a huge transmission that is happening for the collective right now. Woo-wee. I'm talking about, y'all, your story is the shift. 2 of Pentacles, looking at what's happening, looking at the reflection. Oh my gosh, y'all. Y'all, we started out in a reflection, and the 2 of Pentacles is talking about your reflection here, what you see here, and your reflection and what you see in the spiritual. And being able to pull down who you are, what you know, and bringing it to the physical. Woo-wee, bringing it to the natural. Oh my gosh, collective, I love this for you. Let's see what else is going on within this shift and your inheritance. This is your breakthrough season, collective. Literally, you're breaking the barriers. My goodness. It's like you see the infinite possibilities. You see the places. You said 9. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Actually, thank you for letting me know that time, Travis. Travis, do you see my sister schedule her live yet? Did you see that come across your screen? Look, the 7 of Cups. Collective, you are at a crossroads right now. You're not even a crossroads. You just have choices. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. You have choices. You have the opportunity to start over. You have an opportunity to reignite your journey. As a matter of fact, collective, I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Travis, could you give me that time, please, of when she got a schedule? Because I definitely want to make sure I'm respectful. Collective, the reset on your journey. Thank you, baby. That's why you're my cousin. The reset on your journey. You actually, that's the thing about writing your own story or rewriting your narrative and including the parts of your story. Tap in, including the parts of your story, the parts of your journey. Like, Being able to rewrite your narrative is not just something you do to heal yourself. It's actually taking your power back, collective. And I kind of told you, collective, this is all about your breakthroughs. So what you gonna choose? You're going to choose to go into somebody who's deceiving you. You're going to try to go into a place that does not spiritually support you. Are you going to choose love? Are you going to choose thriving? Collective. That's the thing about rewriting your story. You're not omitting the facts. You are narrating them in a way that empowers you to walk in your divine purpose. Tap in. I never forget, it was this young lady that I went to graduate school with. She was a year ahead, so she was about to graduate. And she wrote a book about being in the CP and Child Protective Services system as a child. And what her story of dealing with parents who did not treat her well, I'm using my language very lightly here. She talked about that in her journey to getting to the point of becoming a social worker and wanting to help other children. You guys know when you go into the medical fields, when you go into the helping services, you go in because you recognize that there is a drainage where you know that you can help plug. Tap in, collective. People don't know, as simple as it sounds, collective, as in the moment as it sounds, collective. I need you to understand that a lot of people out here don't even know that they can rewrite their story. They can rewrite what happened to them and frame it in a way that empowers them. Yesterday, when I posted my release framework, which if you have seen my release framework, collective, in the members area, please type a 1 in the chat or throw a heart in the chat, because there is a question that I answer about faith and dealing with your anger. And a lot of people say that because of what happened to them, they are angry with God. Tap in, collective. This is real, right? I've seen it for myself as a hospice social worker. People are angry with God when somebody they love is taken away, put on the services that they know there's a definite end. It is near. And in my journey back to God, it's like you can bring that. You can bring that to God. You can bring those moments of hurt and pain and anger to God. That is a holy transmission. It is a part of your healing. Do not allow your story to be squashed because you believe you have to always live with the negative. That ain't the case. Page of Swords at the bottom. What's this? What's this? The 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, sowing those seeds. That's what's shifting for you, collective. I feel like, wow, even with this part of the story, collective, seeing this, the true message here. My, could tap in, collective. The true message here is not one where you have to, hi, Vanda, is not one where you ignore your story. It's not one where you have to skip over the bad parts. It's a sound that went viral talking about let's get to the good parts. Like, no, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to hide who you are. You ain't got to hide your story or your journey. That is your narrative. That is your narrative. But let me tell you about the enemy, though. That we don't even need cards, but because this came to me. Let me tell you about the enemy, though, and let me tell you why the collective even stopped sharing a part of their story. And I'm telling you, collective, I'm a big old F-U-E-K to them people that try to use your pain and your hurt against you to enact shame. Let me tell you something about them people. They are agents for the devil. They are demonic entities. They work on behalf of all satanic beings to attack the chosen ones, to attack the children of God. Tap in. As you rewrite your story, as you weave your narrative of healing, pain, disruption, falling for the deception, in your mind, you think you're not good enough. When you overcome all of that, you write your story, you're going to have the enemy out there telling you you're not good enough. You're going to have the enemy out there. Ooh, sorry, y'all, this eyelashes really bothered me. You're going to have the enemy out there trying to shame you and throw your truth back in your face. And to that, I say, return to sender all evilness. And I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because at the end of the darn day, can't nobody spray you with your truth. Can't nobody shame you for who you become, who you are. I have seen on this very app demons use people trauma, childhood trauma. Okay? The what's his name? Who I can't think of his, Chris Hansen's level trauma. Okay, tap in. I hope you can read between the lines. I have seen right here on this very app people that use Chris Hansen level trauma against those telling their story, or to out somebody who did not want their stories out. That is the work of Satan, baby. That's what that is. And I'm going to tell you right now, those people who dare to use your pain against you, they are trying to silence you. They are trying to put the spirit of shame in you. And a lot of times it's because they were not brave enough to own their own stories. It's because they hate that you were able to empower yourself and take control of your story. That's the real story right there. Collective. You ain't got to be scared of them folk. Because at the end of the day, what validates them is external. What validates you and who validates you is the Holy Spirit and God. Tap in. They can't compete with that, even though they want to. And their way of shutting that down is to try to shame you with your truth. And I'm gonna tell you right now, collective, they are small fry. They do not matter in the scheme of things. That's not your target audience. Your target audience is those who need to hear your story in order to heal. Whether it's one person that you decide to tell your story to, whether it's the masses, whether you decide to verbally give your story or write it in a book. Collective. Your story is powerful. And that's the shit. That's the message. There's nothing else to be said. I think I was just meant to start up this live stream and tell you that today, collective, that no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're starting off and you hate everything around you, or you're more advanced in your healing journey and you understand where you need to go and what you need to do, I am offering this awareness at your feet, collective. I am not only offering this awareness, but I am honoring your journey no matter where you are. Because ain't nobody and can't nobody shame you over here. Whether you just coming out of a police station, giving your story, to file a claim, to file charges, whether you are getting away from your family, who sees you as the black sheep, who sees you as the threat because you're not falling into line with them and their antics. Whether you walking away from a job and you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from, whether you out there protesting in the streets, wherever you are in your journey, collective, I honor it and I honor you. And I just feel like that's a great place to land this message. I will see you guys very soon. I love you. My name is Cass Young, Common Crowns. I'm an intuitive prophetic speaker, and I love speaking love and light into you guys, like always. No, thank you so much, Ms. Vonda. My subscribers are the heartbeat, and my what do y'all call moderators, girl? My moderators are the thoroughaways to a safe space here. I love you guys so very much. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget that if you are a subscriber, but you are not a member, y'all, I'll be going in on Saturdays for my messages. I think, real quick, y'all, for my subscribers and my members, I think I'm going to just keep the $2.99 membership, $2.99 membership. I'm not even going to do anything else because the exchange really is the energy that's going on there. So, yeah, that's what it is. I love you guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye. Thank you, moderators, for keeping my place safe. Love you.